everybody, wanted to give you a quick tutorial on how to look things up on Sedgwick County Appraiser's website and give you a couple of pro tips on some other things that I use this site for. So give me just a second. I'm going to share my screen with you. Here we go. So first and foremost, you are going to go to sedgwickcounty.org. And once you have that typed in, you'll get this screen that pulls up. You're going to select government, and then you're going to select departments and services. And underneath that, you're going to select appraiser. You get the new screen, and right here, first one, search property appraisals. You're going to click there. And then down here, you're going to click I accept the above terms. So once you have that selected, you're going to go to this property search page, and you can read up here some different things that you can search by. But typically, let's just say that you're going to go out and you're going to list a property at 8034 Watson. So you're going to type that in. I always leave the directions out. I'll give you a couple of exclusions to that here in a minute. But I just try to keep this as basic as possible. Like I don't put court or circle, just the numbers, just the street, and hit search. So while this is searching, something else that I'll share with you is every single night, Sedgwick County closes this website down for maintenance. So I can't remember, but I'm wanting to say it's like 9 p.m. Central Time. You will no longer be able to get on to their website. And so if you have things you need to look up for an early morning appointment, you want to do it before 9 o'clock at night. So here's the property, 8034 East Watson Lane, Wichita, shows who the owner is. You're going to click on that link for the address. So if you're using this because you're getting a new listing, there's a lot of information in here that you're going to want. It's going to ask you, like on your listing, for the legal description. There it is, lot 9, block 1, East Ridge Park, 2nd edition. You're also going to have to fill out the seller's name on all of the paperwork. So with this one, designed dwellings. Some of the other things that you're going to need for MLS to fill out is it's going to ask you what year it was built. So 1966, it is a ranch. It shows how many square feet it is. This you need to kind of look at, because if they've done room additions or things like that, it could be different than that. Also, I had went and like this one shows basement square footage, nothing. This one has a full finished basement except for a couple of areas that are storage and a mechanical room. So pretty easy to measure those and just subtract them from this to know how many square feet the basement has. I even had one the other day that it only said like half of it was finished, but more than half was finished. It was easy to tell just as I was looking through the basement at the house. So we measured the mechanical room and the storage room and we subtracted it, and that's how we got the finished basement square footage. Because when you're listing a house, you want those square footages to be as big as possible so that they bring us the most amount of money as possible. I don't pay really too much attention at all to what these appraise for. It's irrelevant. It's just whatever they're being billed for on their taxes. So like even this one, it says 111,100. It doesn't matter because now it's not accurate. It doesn't have a full finished basement, which has another bathroom and fireplace and all this, that, and the other. So this home currently we have under contract for $173,000. So don't get hung up, and don't let your clients get hung up on what this dollar figure says. It's irrelevant. So a couple of other things that they're going to look for on your listing when you're putting it into MLS. It's going to ask how big the lot size is. So these two things right here, market land square feet and total acres, those are going to come into play. Couple of other things as we're looking at this, scrolling up just a shade. If you click on special assessments, This one isn't going to have a whole ton. I'm going to open up a different one here in a minute for you so you can see how it all breaks down. But like this one, just like every house in Sedgwick County, sometimes you're going to see that, you know, it has no specials. That's what this is talking about. But every property in Sedgwick County for the year 2020 has a minimum of $7.80. It was some solid waste user fee that they assessed. Let's go back up here and I'll show you a different one. If we go to search a different address, here's a property that we closed today, 1738 Blackstone. Search. It was a new construction house. So this one's way off because they're just still showing that it's the lot. They're not even showing that the house was built yet because they just finished it. So, but what I want to show you on this one is now if I click special assessments, it's going to tell you. So like for 2020, the total special assessments are $506.89. So it's about $40 a month. In 2021, they went up a little bit and it tells you a breakdown of what it's going to be. So like this Blackstone edition, that's what added it in and made the difference in that payment. If you scroll down past that, it's going to show you exactly what the total is that's owed. So like if these buyers, which my buyers are going to just go ahead and pay this off, but $4,463.05, it's going to give them the total of what's owed. But you can also see like this one pays out in 2024. This one pays out in 2024. This one pays out in 2023. And the biggest one on here, it goes 2035 is when it pays out. Most of the time with these, it is a 15-year payoff. Some of the more expensive neighborhoods where they have larger lots and fewer houses in the subdivision, some of those will pay out over a 20-year time span. But this is how you're going to go in and find what the specials are and verify those when you're looking even for your buyer, and make sure that they have the correct thing in MLS, because this is going to affect your client's monthly payment. So something else you can do on Sedgwick County's website is, let's say that I want to send something out to possibly vacant properties or properties that are tenant occupied. You could go in and let's say that I'm going to search for my own neighborhood. So I can type in 100 to 500 South Ridgewood. There it is. So this is going to be my block all the way down to the VA. I hit search and look, it gives you all these properties. There's 3 pages of them, 25 houses in that block. So I can click on this first one. This is the house directly across the street from me. Here is the owner's name, Carrie and Leisha Rutschman. And this is the mailing address where their taxes are going to. So the city in Washington state. So now I can either assume that this property is vacant, or I can assume that it's tenant occupied, which I know. I just actually met them today. They are renting it while they're building a house. So this is an investment property for Carrie and Leisha. So let's say that I had a person that was looking for a home in this neighborhood. This would definitely be something that I could send a letter out and say, hey, I have a pre-approved buyer that's looking for a home in Crown Heights. And I was curious if you're interested in selling 105 South Ridgewood. Now, if you want to go back, you can go to the next one, which is ours. You can go to the next one and you see that here's another one. Ronald and Valerie Smith, P.O. Box, Andover, Kansas. So this is another investment property in my neighborhood, but that's how you're going to find out. Now, you can look through all of these things and you can make a lot of different mailing lists, let's just say. So for instance, you start seeing these limited partnerships and LLCs and things like that. You could make a list of all of these if you wanted to specialize in investment properties. And when you listed an investment property that you think is something that these people might be interested in, you could send a postcard out to every one of these, like in a database that you create, and say, hey, I've just listed this property, thought you might want to add it to your list of investment properties. The other thing that you could do with these is you could look for the ones that are trusts, or you could look for the ones, as ageist as this sounds, that just have old people names. Okay, and this where it says eTux, this is a trust. So that is going to be one of those things if you're looking for trusts. But let's go back to page 1. Marjorie, that's not a very common name for younger people. So you could send out something, are you looking to downsize? Or again, if you had somebody that was thinking about buying a house, these might be people that are looking to downsize and move into a different neighborhood. So here's one that's a revocable trust. So, and keep in mind, these trusts don't mean that these people don't live in their house. Like, that's just one way that people can protect their assets. So, and it makes sure that it doesn't get caught up in the court system. Once they pass away, it goes into that trust. And then whoever is in charge of that trust is going to be the one that receives the house. So don't get hung up on all of that stuff. Here's another one, living trust, but possibly they're older. That's who typically does these types of things. So just as you're looking through, there's just some different ways to digest all of these numbers and addresses. So I hope this kind of helps walk you through Sedgwick County. The other thing is you can also find Sedgwick County's website. If you go into Paragon, and you're logging in like you're going to go into MLS, there is an icon there to click on Sedgwick County taxes, Butler County taxes, Sumner County taxes, and they're all a very similar program to this. So Sedgwick County is probably the one that you're going to use the most. So I figured I would spend the most amount of time going through this with you. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea on how to look the information up when you're either looking for your clients or looking to put a new listing in MLS. So we'll see you on the next video.